I didn't choose chaos. At least, I don't think I did. I didn't know how to function without it. Calm felt wrong to me, and silence felt suspicious. Stability always felt temporary. If nothing was going wrong, I assumed something was about to go wrong. I was always prepared. And for a long time, I thought that meant I was self-sabotaging, that I just liked drama, that maybe I was toxic. But the truth is much less glamorous. My nervous system was trained in chaos, and peace felt unfamiliar, and unfamiliar felt unsafe. So let's talk about that. Hi. If you're here, it probably means you've been carrying more than you let people see. This isn't a podcast about fixing yourself. It's not about becoming the best version of you. It's not about pretending everything is fine. This is Surviving Chaos, a brutally honest, heartbreakingly funny, emotionally raw comfort space hosted by a hot mess and her emotional support pit bull. If you've ever found yourself bored in stability, if you've ever blown something up because it felt too calm, if you've ever confused anxiety for chemistry, you're not crazy. You're just conditioned. I'm Chelsea, and today we're talking about why I craved chaos, and hopefully help you to understand why you may crave chaos. Growing up, unpredictability wasn't rare. It was normal. Emotions shifted very quickly at the drop of a hat. Energy in the room changed so fast. You learn to read micro expressions, read into everything, and you learn to constantly scan the room. You learn to anticipate and always stay ready. And when you grow up like that, your body gets used to adrenaline. Your nervous system gets used to activation. So instead of relaxing and staying calm, you're always ready for something. So later in life, when things finally calm down, it doesn't feel peaceful. It's like the calm before the storm, the quiet before something bad happens. I remember being in a relationship where things were steady and everything was going good, and I would just feel this itch. I was like restless. I had an urge to test something, almost like provoke a fight. I just wanted to create tension, and it wasn't because I wanted pain, but because tension felt familiar to me. It was what I was used to, and familiar feels safe. Even when it's not even close to safe, but it's what you're used to. Let's break this down simply. Your nervous system has two main branches. We talk about these a lot. There's the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight. The parasympathetic is your rest and digest. If you grew up in stress, trauma, instability, or emotional unpredictability, your sympathetic system was often active. Your body adapted to that high cortisol, which is the stress hormone, high alert, and always scanning for danger. Your body got good at surviving, but here's the problem. The body doesn't care if the stress is emotional, relational, or physical, and the body can't tell the difference between real threat and perceived threat. It just starts to learn the patterns. So as an adult, if you enter into a calm environment, your body doesn't immediately relax. It doesn't know how to relax. It starts to look for threats, and it expects something bad to happen. And when it can't find a threat, sometimes it will create one. Not consciously, of course, biologically, because your system equates activation with normal. That's what you're used to. And calm with vulnerability. There's also something called trauma reenactment. We unconsciously recreate familiar dynamics because they feel known, not because they're good, but because they're predictable. And predictable feels safer than unknown peace. I used to say I had bad taste in men, but what I really had was a regulated response to dysregulation. I knew how to handle chaos, and I knew how to survive mood swings, withdrawal, intensity, push-pull dynamics. What I didn't know was how to sit in steadiness, because steadiness requires surrender, and surrender felt dangerous. Chaos gave me something strange: control. If everything was already unstable, I knew how to function. But if things were good, I had to relax. And relaxing meant lowering my guard, and that was uncomfortable. Lowering my guard felt unsafe. So I would mistake calm for boredom and intensity for passion. I wasn't addicted to chaos, addicted to activation. If you crave chaos, it might look like feeling attracted to emotionally unavailable people, starting arguments when things feel too smooth, thriving in crisis but struggling in peace. That's a big one for me. Feeling numb without drama, self-sabotaging stability. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means your nervous system is conditioned. Healing isn't removing chaos overnight. Nothing can be done overnight. It's basically retraining your body to tolerate calm. And that is going to take a lot of repetition. Your body has to learn that nothing bad happens when things are steady, that quiet doesn't equal danger, that peace doesn't equal abandonment, that calm isn't the setup for punishment. You're really going to have to put in the work and do it over and over and over and over and over again to retrain your brain. It's not going to happen overnight. You know what retrained me more than therapy? Dallas. He doesn't thrive in chaos. He thrives in routine. He wants his breakfast when he wants his breakfast. He wants to go walkies when he wants to go walkies. He wants mommy to cuddle when he wants mommy to cuddle. He is predictable. And when I sit with him and nothing dramatic is happening, and nothing is on fire, and no one is yelling, and my phone isn't blowing up, there's this strange stillness. And I've had to learn that stillness isn't empty. It's safe. And I would do anything for this little guy. Ask yourself, do I feel more alive in crisis? Do I distrust calm? When things go well, do I brace myself? Do I associate intensity with love? Who am I without chaos? That last question is really important. Who are you when you're not surviving something? It's okay if you don't know yet. I'm still working on figuring that out, and it's all part of healing. Here's something important. You might grieve chaos when you start to heal. And that is because chaos gave you identity. It gave you purpose. It gave you adrenaline, intensity, something to manage. Peace can feel very flat at first. That flatness, that's regulation. And regulation feels boring when you're used to survival. But boring is sustainable. Boring is stable. Boring allows you to rest. Ask yourself, do I feel more alive in crisis? Do I distrust calm? When things go well, do I brace myself? Do I associate intensity with love? Who am I without chaos? That last question is really important. Who are you when you're not surviving something? It's okay if you don't know yet. I'm still working on figuring that out, and it's all part of healing. So today we talked about chaos and why it felt like home. About how sometimes we don't crave destruction, we just crave what's familiar. And when you grow up surviving, calm can feel suspicious. Love can feel boring. Peace can feel like something is about to go wrong. But here's what I'm finally learning. Surviving is not the same as living. And maybe the bravest thing I've ever done is sit in a quiet moment and not set it on fire. We're gonna pick an affirmation. Today's affirmation says, I can survive without surviving something. And if that feels comfortable to you, if peace feels strange, if you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, it doesn't make you broken. It just means your body learned to expect impact. But we're allowed to learn new things anytime. You don't need a crisis to justify your existence. You don't need chaos to prove your strength. You don't need adrenaline to feel alive. You can survive without surviving something. Take a breath. Whisper it to yourself. I'm Chelsea. This is Surviving Chaos, and I'll see you next week.